Dr. Herin Otieno Menya. I am a Kenyan by birth, but African at the very core. I hold a PhD in mathematics education, which I attained from Sheffield Hallam University in the UK through a Commonwealth scholarship. During my PhD, I was privileged to also do a master's program in sociology and policy planning. Before that, I had done a master's at Kenyatta University in statistics. I currently work with the African Institute for Mathematical Sciences as the director of their teacher training program in Rwanda. As a person, I am very passionate about education, especially STEM education and postgraduate education in our beloved continent, Africa. On 20th June this month, we were able to host our first postgraduate webinar. I say it first, but it's not really the first, because in 2016, as students back in the UK, we hosted a conference that brought together a number of postgraduate students in Africa, and all we were doing was to reflect on the state of postgraduate research in Africa and to consider what we could do as emerging researchers to contribute to making things better for our fellow postgraduate students back home in Africa. And now I'm back home in Africa, and I have picked this up and I've started a conversation amongst postgraduate students in Africa. And so this month we held that webinar that brought together a number of postgraduate students from across. During that webinar, we had 4 panelists, leaders in conversations and reflections on the challenges that come with postgraduate studies and how we can navigate them. We had Eva Ujaneza, who is a doctoral student at Stellenbosch University, a mathematician by training, and is currently a lecturer in one of the universities in Rwanda. We also had Angela Akumu Ayo, who is a doctoral student at Nairobi University in health economics, but is also a guest lecturer in a number of universities in Kenya. We were also joined by Dr. Elias Nkiaka, who is a postdoctoral fellow at University of Leeds in the UK. And finally, we drew insights from Dr. Tekana Mark, who is a lecturer and early career researcher in languages in one of the universities in Nigeria. The discussions were very hearty, and they were organized within 4 main themes. The first point of discussion was on research proposals. How do we write research proposals, and what are some of the things that we'd focus on? In fact, the first part of that conversation looked at how do we even arrive at a topic for our research study. There was quite some conversation on that. And then the second set of conversation focused on securing funds or scholarships to support our postgraduate studies. And then thirdly, we also discussed on the hearty issue of supervision. How do you choose a supervisor? And how can you ensure that you have a productive and constructive relationship with your supervisor during your postgraduate studies? Finally, we spent some time to look at aspects related to publications. It is a pity we were not able to record the whole webinar, but right next, you will be able to catch some of the conversations and the discussions that we had on supervision and publication. I hope you can join us in our next webinar, and also look out for some of the plug-in conversations that we're going to have in the course of this month that we'll be uploading on this YouTube. Meanwhile, may I request that if you are a postgraduate student and you are on Twitter, and you should be on Twitter, may I request that you look for our Twitter handle, which is Africa's Postgrads, and join into the conversation so that this conversation can go on and we can be able to share ideas and work together. And that is why I have created this YouTube, which is going to be a platform through which we share conversations and discussions around matters related to postgraduate studies and research in Africa.